Welcome to the channel. We have so many different sources of informations about new update, Splintered Souls. That's why in this episode I will try to put it all together. Although I must admit that the developers give us very limited information. This is probably intended to build more player interest. For example, the entire new patch note is based only on lores, and a video from which we won't learn anything but new locations, new inferno, and pets called familiars. Of course, there are many different guesses about functionality, how they will work, whether they will be only in PvE or also in PvP. However, it must be made clear here that we really don't know anything yet. And the worst thing is that we still don't know anything about whether pets will collect items for us, which is basically the most important function that the players mainly wanted. So let's see the most important information said by the developers.
Our next major update, Splintered Souls.
Let's jump right into it. We'll start with our new zone.
Diablo Immortal's newest zone is the Southern Dreadlands, a place we've wanted to visit since the early development of Diablo 3.
The Dreadlands are the heart of Immortal's story. When Tyrael, the Archangel of Justice, destroyed the corrupted Worldstone, Mount Arreat crumbled, and ash rained down for days. In Splintered Souls, we'll head to the Southern Dreadlands, an apocalyptic plain transformed by that event.
After you descended into Tristram Cathedral, the Lord of Terror closed his claws around the largest shard of the Worldstone, and its power is right now speeding his rebirth. To have a hope of stopping Diablo, you and Tyrael will search the shattered north for the angelic sword of justice, El Druid. On your hunt, you'll explore twisting ravines left over from Arreat's collapse. You'll also delve into the Gully of Madness, a surreal landscape transformed by the Worldstone's destruction and the harbinger of a new cataclysm for this land.
The Southern Dreadlands are subject to horrifying red storms that carry tiny splinters of destroyed Worldstone. When a storm passes through a settlement, it either cuts the inhabitants to pieces or transforms them into Shardborn, monsters driven to kill by visions of endless terror. Diablo's servants are ravaging the north, along with insects and bees twisted by the power of creation.
You'll protect the wilds of the Dreadlands from horrifying monsters in a new zone event, a more mobile, inverted tower defense scenario. But there's only one real shelter left in this sad land: the great city of Stalbreak, last hope for scores of northern refugees. The cruel laird who controls Stalbreak is quite particular about who he lets through the gates. And a huge encampment, the Grey Wards, is right now forming outside the city, where people beg for access and plot revolution.
The exciting thing about fighting through the Dreadlands is you won't have to do it alone.
That's right. To help with your demon slaying, we're introducing familiars to Diablo Immortal.
Hello, I'm John Yu, Principal Designer on the Immortal team.
And I'm Emil Salim, Lead Artist on Diablo Immortal. We are so excited to talk to you about Familiars, a brand new feature in the game that revolves around companions that will aid you in Sanctuary.
Familiars are loyal allies that support players in battle to help combat the minions of hell. They also provide additional bonuses, with some even offering cool utility options to players.
What kind of utility options are I talking about? Can they grab me a cup of coffee while I'm in the middle of fighting a boss?
Not quite. But some rare familiars can provide convenience features, like being able to salvage or identify items without having to return to town. There will be several familiars launching with the upcoming patch. Two of these are the Dustcrawler and the Varrock.
The Dustcrawler is a capricious, spiritual cat-like being that is said to escort the dead to lands beyond.
In combat, the Dustcrawler absorbs harmful effects by enemies to protect their masters.
The Varrock is another familiar we are releasing. It resembles a magical elk. there is a tree-dwelling spirit said to watch over travelers who pass through their forest. All they require in tribute are the souls of wayward folk who have lost their will to live. When visualizing the familiars, the art team took inspiration from multiple mythological creatures from all around the world. We also try to add some personality to their backstories, like the Dust Prowler is meant to look more mischievous, while the Varrock is more elegant and mysterious.
Familiars have a great deal of progression tied to them, with the ability to be upgraded and evolved. Through the evolution of familiars, players can discover more powerful and rare versions that will unlock unique skills and abilities. Well, that does it for us here. There's a lot more information to come. Stay up to date by following our social channels.
We want to wish you all a happy holiday season. 2023 has been an absolutely massive year for Diablo Immortal, and we are so excited for all the new adventures to come in 2024.
Okay, we know for sure that at least one pet will guarantee us identification and salvage items. And here I would like to say something very important. Maybe I'm wrong, but remember the very beginning of the game. Times when people blindly invested in 5-star legendary gems. Ultimately, they had to invest a second time because it turned out that what they had was practically useless. I think it may be very similar in this case, regardless of how you have to pay for the pets, whether it be money or some other game resources. Remember that we most likely won't get all the options right away, and I would expect that with the next update we might get pet options that will simply be better. So just hold your horses, at least on the very beginning, because, let's face it, this is business, and they certainly want to make money from it. Let's quickly review the Chinese patch note now. And in this case, no specific information is given. The whole thing is based more on lore and building a certain story around each pet. However, what is worth noting is the fact that in the Chinese version we have a few more companions. I'm not sure whether we will receive them in the new patch note, or whether they will simply be added at a later stage of the game. It may be concerning. However, I think that the developers mainly want to make a buzz around the new update, more than give us some certain informations. So let's just see what's going on Reddit. One pet can be selected to battle. There are 4 basic attributes for pets, and the attributes have quality levels where red is better than yellow. Yellow is greater than blue, and so on. And pets may have star ratings up to a maximum of 6 stars. Maximum pet level is 30. White Deer seems to have an AO skill. It applies an immunity knockback buff to allies within its range. In-game buffs like Unselectable, Crowd Control Immune are displayed above characters' heads. So if pets work like legendary gems, I would expect that we will be able to level pet to level 30 just by playing. This will gradually increase its attributes, and the star system will most likely be much more difficult. If not paid, I suspect that the stars will be an attribute multiplier, or additionally, they can unlock further attributes that will not be available in the basic version, even at level 30. But this is just my prediction, so let me know in the comment what you think about it. And as always, thanks for watching.